Anyway, I gotta do something up for the fucking dirtbag Albertans if they're out here. Anywho, I figure I should tell you a little bit something about myself. My name's Enzo. I grew up here. I can't count past 21, and yeah, and I forgot the rest of my intro. Yeah, that was largely it. Anyway, so I was meandering about the other day and talking to a couple of buddies, and I realized I am an old soul, which only comes about when I realize that every story I tell has someone who's dead, retiring, or has an ailment that is genetic, comes up late in life, and is only discoverable through the miracle of modern medicine. And I largely blame it on my father, because he is older than fucking dirt. I mean, he's Pennsylvanian. I mean, he's from Pennsylvania, but also he's about 36 million years old, which is a geology joke. If any of you are in the crowd, I figure it's around Valentine's Day, and the people with the most boring fucking interests in the world should get some love around this time. What's the other part of my intro? Anyway, he raised me, and my dad, and I took a lot of inspiration from him. But the thing was, I was fucking this big, right? So I didn't have much to bring to the table. So I figured, all right, by the time I'm 18, I should get married, just so I can get divorced and have a story to, tell the old timers that I would hang out with. And, well, I did, which, big fucking mistake. I didn't get divorced, but you'll hear why in a minute. And it wasn't like an annual port of the storm sort of situation, no, neither. I was, like, the girl I married, I loved her, beyond all belief. I mean, like, she was the first girl to ever respond positively to my favorite pickup line, which was, at my age, pull my finger. It still is. And, I mean, you think, like, oh, that's just fucking goofy. Like, why would you ever say that? And you realize, like, you'd be like, oh, someone in the crowd, I can't see any of you people with lights right in my eyes, but it'd be like you going up to somebody and going like, hey, are you okay with double penetration anal while I watch? And, I mean, it's a fast weed-out process. You get the desired result quickly. So it was that, and also, Peg was her name. Peg, she just had this rebellious spirit about her that I just loved. And I remember we were at an amusement park, and they said, keep your arms and legs inside the raft at all times. And she went, fuck you! And from that moment on, I just knew I loved her. And so at 18, we had a shotgun wedding, which was to say at gunpoint after I got her pregnant. And it wasn't all bad. I mean, no matter, like, being married to an amputee has a few pluses, because no matter how flexible you think you may be, missing a few limbs, I mean, god damn, you can get in crevices and nicks and corners that you just can't get if there's a leg in the way. So, fuck, I love Peg. But so. Where was I going with this story? Anyway, she's dead. That's why we didn't get divorced. But the marriage wasn't going to work out anyway, because, I mean, like, you're in a relationship with somebody, and they're supposed to be your right-hand man. Well, in her case, she was my left-hand woman. But, you marry someone, and, like, that's a relationship where you need to be able to, they're supposed to be your rocks, someone you can lean on in times of need, and she just couldn't do that. And now she's dead, so she really can't. But as we approach this fine holiday, I think, where we don't get a day off and have to buy chocolates, I always get kind of bummed, and it's because it's one of the anniversaries of my uncle's death. And my uncle, he was an odd duck. He lived out in the middle of nowhere, fucking Pennsylvania. And I remember, he was this backwards dude, and lived out on this pig farm. And I remember we spent the night there once, and cracked, the rooster crowed 3 hours before because it's a fucking myth. If anyone ever tells you a rooster crows at dawn, that's not true. They're just doing whatever the fuck they feel like, and you get used to it. But anyway, so I'm out meandering on his farm because I'm 5 and fucking useless. My dad used to say, you're about as useful as a pee hole in a snowbank. Now hold that fucking flashlight straight. I'm always straight. But my uncle, one thing I should add is, he had he looked like the fucking Michelin Man, where he just had these pipes for forearms. And I never understood why until this day. And it was because I walk out there and there's this big fucking apple tree. And he would lift each pig up to the tree and let it bite off. And Uncle Jack was his name. I figured I should add that in there because it helps me segue to my next joke. Anyway, he would lift each pig up to the tree and they would take a bite off of it. And I go, Uncle Jack, why not just knock all the trees down and let the pigs eat from the ground? He goes, you youngsters just don't get it, do you? Like, we don't get what? This seems like a fairly efficient use of time. Just knock all the apples on the ground so you can get on with your day's work. He goes, you just don't get it. What's time to a pig? So, but the other thing my uncle used to do, he had horses, and I can't fucking get on a horse. I mean, at this time I'm 5, and so my Uncle Jack, he would always help me off of the horse because I would fall on my head. And every Valentine's Day, I always get reminded that the little bit of time I had to spend with him, I just wish I was a little bit stronger and a little bit taller, and we could trade roles, and I could help my Uncle Jack off his horse. That's my time.